the MPP side or the majority side. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. So, I mean, the people. I mean, but first of all, let's look at the procedure. Is the speaker bound to call or to recall the House upon a request, by a member, in this case by the leader of government business, or he has discretion? Hello, good evening, sir. Good evening, Lante, Vanderpuye.
Good evening.
Yes, I don't know if you got my question, but we just want to understand the process. Is the speaker bound to recall the House upon a request by a member, or the speaker has discretion in the matter?
Well, according to our standing orders and the speaker will have to evaluate the relevance of the call. And if in the judgment of the speaker, the call is necessary, the speaker will call. So it is not just cast in iron that the speaker have to accept the call or recall Parliament because somebody has petitioned the House. Because the recall is also on the budget of the House. So the speaker will have to be sure that it is prudent to call the House. It is good, it is in the interest of the nation and of Parliament to recall the House. The speaker cannot whimsically recall the House.
I see. So the reasons the speaker gave for you, are these tenable reasons? Are these reasons good enough?
Well, at this particular time, I don't think there is any Ghanaian who will find the reason for declining the offer or the request to be improper. Because as I'm talking to you now, how many days do we have for elections? How do you expect the speaker to recall us into the House? MPs who are in their various constituencies working now, don't forget, the elections is not only on the 7th of December. There is special voting on the 2nd of December. You understand me? So you are recalling, they want the speaker to recall Parliament, let the MPs leave their constituencies, leave all the work they are doing, and proceed to Accra. Some MPs, it will take them 2 days, some 3 days to get to Accra. So I think the circumstances in which we find ourselves at this moment in time, the speaker's decision was wise, the speaker's decision was right, the speaker's decision was the best in the interest of the nation.
But, so is it election or dealing with urgent government business? A number of items were listed as urgent government business. So you were saying that you are prioritizing your election over the business of the state?
At this particular time, the elections in this country is the most important activity on the calendar of this country, Ghana. I don't think there is any other thing that is most important to the people of Ghana than the elections. If anything should cause a delay in our elections, it will disturb our governance and it disturb the peace of the country. So anything that will sustain the peace and the development of our country through the enhancement of our democratic principles and lay down procedures is good. 2, government business can always be done. Government business can be done after elections. Government business will not suffer unduly if it is delayed for days in order for us to have a peaceful elections and also be able to return to Parliament so that every MP will be concentrating on the work of Parliament. That is what we are looking for. We want every MP to have that stable mind to focus on the work to be done in Parliament. We don't want any MP to come to Parliament with a divided attention. So government business rather will be best served if every MP is stable, is concentrating and doing everything right.
I see. So you do not consider matters of the Financial Stability Fund approval of some $250 million international
if the MPP MPs saw that as a priority, they would have made us come to Parliament on the last recall and stayed in Parliament the whole day without doing anything. If they so much value government business, we wouldn't have spent the taxpayers' money, come to Parliament, stay in Parliament. Look, we've made sacrifices already. In fact, that recall was totally useless. And MPs have made great sacrifice by coming on that recall. I don't think there is any more sacrifice to be done at this moment in time.
Great sacrifice by doing your own work. Your work is to attend Parliament, and you know, it was time.
Let me. I don't agree with anybody who says that. We also have our timetable. We are human beings. Just as the president goes on holidays, we also have our holidays.
No, I mean, you're talking about the previous recall.
We are on holidays when we're called. You understand?
But this particular recall, I mean, the one, I mean, the recall that brought about the problems. I mean, you were not on recess. It was time.
What I'm saying is that the speaker has suspended the house indefinitely. So at that moment in time, we were on holidays. MPs made sacrifices by leaving their constituencies, leaving the work they were doing, came down to Accra. You understand? We stayed the whole day doing nothing. And people have to return to their constituencies. As we're talking today, by our timetable, we are supposed to be on holidays. You understand? 2, we have only a few days to elections. I don't think it bodes well for any MP to leave his constituency and travel to Accra. 2 days. Come to Accra for a recall. Just to come and transact businesses that we could have done long ago. Tell them, let me say this. They should wait. After elections, we shall all meet in the house. Even if they want us to stay overnight to transact those business. After elections, we'll come to the house and transact that business.
I see. I mean, I'm looking at the speaker's memo to the Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Markin. In Alexander Afenyo-Markin's memo to the speaker, he described himself as a majority leader and leader of government business. The speaker,
he's not a majority leader.
Addressed him as the leader of government business. I mean, this wouldn't have been an issue, but for the happenings of the last few weeks. So, is it a case that the speaker, despite the Supreme Court's decision and all of that, is still not recognizing him as the majority leader?
Philip, you are a lawyer. You know the procedures of Parliament. You followed Parliament for a long time. Before the speaker gave a decision, you understand, transmitted an information to the House. That information particularly depicts something. By that automaticity of our procedures, as of today we are talking, Afenyo-Markin is not the leader of the House. It is only when the speaker has varied the decision he made at the last time, when we have gone back to the House, and has varied the decision he made based upon the Supreme Court judgment, if so be it, then the status quo will change. But as we see today, there has not been any meeting of the House that had varied the statement made by the Speaker and the decision that was made in the House.
So even though the Supreme Court disagrees with the Speaker and the Supreme Court
will have to transmit their judgment and their decision to the Speaker, and the Speaker will have to transmit it to the House. That's how we work.
I see.
We don't just act in abeyance. We don't just act with a whirlwind.
I see.
We act by our standing orders.
I see.
So whatever transmission, whatever a message the Supreme Court has for the House will need to be transmitted to the clerk, to the Speaker. And then the Speaker will so accordingly inform the House. That could change the status quo of the House as of today. Until that is done, the status quo remained as it was then when we went on recess.
In the last but one paragraph, the Speaker notes that the national interest will better be served if members exhibit conduct of honor, empathy, and humility in the performance of their duties. I mean, many people wonder where this is coming from. Unless, of course, I mean, from it's in Afenyo Markin's memo,
what the speaker is saying.
he talked about national interest. So that doesn't mean the speaker is still holding this in his heart against the Honorable Afenyo Markin.
No, people have not been honorable as they are supposed to be. You and I agree.
By going to the Supreme Court to test the law?
We sat in that house, and we all hailed a decision that was taken by Aaron Okwe. We sat in that house, and we hailed the decision taken by Aaron Okwe. Today, people who call themselves honorable are saying that when Aaron Okwe took that decision, it was wrong. But they didn't criticize it. They accepted it. They sang the chorus to it. They virtually danced in it. They enjoyed that music. And today they are saying that music was wrong.
And they've been vindicated by the Supreme Court. The fact that something was wrong yesterday and it's repeated today doesn't make it right. So when it was wrong and nobody said anything about it, it's repeated today. But today I see something wrong with it, and I go to the appropriate forum to have my rights vindicated. I mean, that should end the matter.
Let me say this. If it was wrong that time and you knew it was wrong, you didn't criticize it. You didn't you didn't stand against it. But today, when it's on another foot, then you are saying that what happened the last time was wrong. You are not honorable. You are not honest. You are not truthful. You are not objective. You are not principled.
I see. Let's leave it here. But how is the campaign going in your constituency? Of course, you are not running again. You have a successor. How is the campaign going?
John Mahama is already the president in 2025.
Oh, even without an election.
I'm telling you, even before the ballot is cast, you need to see what Ghanaians are saying.
Are you not being too confident? Are you not being overconfident?
Oh, but you know me already. You know me when I don't just give prediction and it fails. Tell them you followed me for some time. I've always given you prediction. They come true. Let me tell you this. It is obvious. It's clear. Whatever we have been, John Mahama is winning these elections, hands down. And you mentioned my constituency. No matter what, Honorable Ashikote will win.
I see.
Afrenia Ashikote will be my successor.
Very well. Thank you so much, Lante, Vanderpuye, Member of Parliament for the Odududu constituency, speaking to us on the parliamentary recall saga. Speaker has responded. He says that he doesn't think it is proper to recall Parliament at this time when MPs are campaigning across the country, and that he will recall Parliament, or Parliament to be recalled after the election. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM.